it's interesting, when I think of the advocates, against the unbelievably talented lawyers, far more talented, truly, than I, many more years of experience, and just a lot smarter about the law. But there was one thing that struck me. It's a quote, a way of looking at the truth that bothered me, that's in the book. It's a quote, came from an unbelievably talented lawyer, spent 5 decades at the law. He said, truth, what's truth? Truth is at the bottom of a bottomless pit. And that idea of how lawyers can think of the truth is something that can, be ripped from its moorings in reality and be at the bottom of some place, some person put, to me will be the law's undoing, if the law thinks that way about the truth. So when you ask me about the lowest moment and the highest moment, the lowest was, when I learned when the tannery was closed down and they broke the contract with the workers, and so I went to the home of a worker who, months before my office, under the pains and penalties of perjury, that great engine for truth-telling, wasn't talking. But in his kitchen, he was talking because he was dying of leukemia. And he told me things. And those things made me angry. I remember grabbing those things. And then I went to others, and they told me things, and I stuffed them in my pocket, and then I went to that place that we all familiar with, the court, and I laid out all those things, that glittered like gold on the table, that had been kept from me. And I did it in front of a federal judge, and federal judges, I'm sure those practicing lawyers, they can get angry, that, they can get mad. And this one got really angry. He got as angry as a federal judge can get. They can get pretty angry! And I remember, it wasn't against them, but for me, for digging it all up. And I remember he said, "It's too late for the truth." And I remember those words, ringing in my ear a long time after, and my inability to be able to do something about it, even going down to the biggest door a lawyer can knock on. But it was sometime after that, the high point, when we were gathered together at a place like this, the community, the families. There were not too many of us when we first started. But we were there, and that night, something interesting happened. That summer's night, a government agency, which had never before in history announced something. It said the families were right. That the water, the contamination of the water, the studies show, were responsible for a 13 times greater risk of the children getting this disease than those who were not exposed. And this was the first time in history for a government to be able to make that connection, make that recognition. And I remember going home that night, and unlike the pain from those words, stinging words, I felt not pain, but joy. It was not too late for the truth. It's never too late for the truth. And it is the truth that is our salvation. That the truth is not a weapon, and it's not something a lawyer has to go grab from someone else and use as a weapon. The truth, it's all around us. And it comes to us when we, as lawyers, help others share information. And in that sharing of information, soil is created in which life can take root. And so that, to me, was my most joyful recognition and the thing that made all the pain worthwhile.
Thank you.